We had a really good team, and just getting to the final in that inaugural year, you know what, I think it laid a lot of foundation for, hey, this is a quality ball club. They believe in a lot of good things, and I think it set the tone for the following 24 years after that.
Welcome to episode 286 of Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. I'm Joe McFarland, and happy belated 157th birthday, Canada. It was an amazing weekend of baseball across the province, from the grassroots right up to the summer collegiate ranks. We'll try to touch on as much as we can on this episode that we're dubbing the Canada Day Extravaganza. Let's start things off, as always, with our news headlines, and we begin in Major League Baseball. Congratulations to Edmonton's Rob Zastryzny on being recalled by the Milwaukee Brewers over the past week. He then made the Canada Day start against the Colorado Rockies, pitching a 1-2-3 first inning. Then he made an appearance out of the bullpen the next night and was the pitcher of record in a 4-3 Brewers win over those same Rockies. Calgary's Michael Soroka was tagged with a loss as the Chicago White Sox fell 5-4 to the Colorado Rockies in 14 innings on Sunday, but it's not as bad as it sounds because Soroka pitched in 4 of the extra frames, allowing just 2 runs on 1 hit and 2 walks while striking out 6. He's continuing to lower his ERA as well, which is now down to 5.16. And former Edmonton prospect and Okotoks Dogs utility man Cody Funderburk continues to be a workhorse for the Minnesota Twins. He had a tumultuous May, though, including being optioned to AAA. He returned June 21st and has since made 3 relief appearances, striking out 6 in 4+ innings, posting a 4.15 earned run average. To the minors and a trio of updates for you. We'll start with Tristan Peters, who had himself a mammoth at-bat for the AAA Durham Bulls on Tuesday.
First inning and 3 runs. Swing by Peters. Fly ball into right field. The wind will carry this one. It's to the wall in right center, and it bangs off of the scoreboard. Tristan Peters, home run number 7. And the Bulls in the second inning have a 4-0 lead on the Tides.
The Dogs Academy and Okotoks Dogs alum is now hitting .242 with 7 homers and 32 RBI on the season. AHP Academy grad and coach Eric Sabrowski has landed on the 7-day injured list with the AAA Columbus Clippers. In his last outing, June 27th, he allowed 1 run on 1 hit with 2 walks and 3 strikeouts in an inning and a third as the Clippers beat Omaha 8-3. He had also struck out 19 in 12 innings during the month of June. And Lloydminster's Justin King has had a good stretch of games lately with Biloxi Chuckers, the AA affiliate of the Milwaukee Brewers. In 3 appearances, he's allowed just 1 run and struck out 2. The Dogs product has made 19 relief appearances this season, posting a 9.31 earned run average and 26 strikeouts in 19+ innings of work. Stop us if you've heard this one before, but Landon Barassa continues to deal with the Winnipeg Goldeyes. In his last appearance, the Lethbridge native allowed 4 runs on 9 hits over 7 innings as the Goldeyes beat Gary South Shore 10-4. Barassa is now 4-3 with a 3.05 ERA in 9 starts. A big congratulations to all of the athletes named to the Baseball Alberta 14U and 16U girls teams over the last week. The 14U squad will head to Spruce Grove for Western Nationals August 16th through 18th, while the 16U team will head to Nationals in Saskatoon. Those are set for August 22nd through 25th. The Baseball Canada women's national team has taken over Ottawa for its selection camp. A total of 6 Albertans are part of the 5-day camp, with final rosters set to represent Canada at the Women's Baseball World Cup Finals in Thunder Bay later on this month. Speaking of events coming up, a couple of big ones as Blue Jays Academy embarks on its Alberta Tour July 9th through 12th. They will be in Okotoks, Cochrane, St. Albert, Beaumont, and Edmonton next week for showcases, clinics, and more. Meantime, the Canadian Future Showcase Tryout Tour is underway, and it'll be hitting Okotoks July 9th. The tryouts will help scouts determine who should be heading to Toronto for the annual showcase, which is set for September 17th through 21st at Rogers Centre. Before we take a look back at some of the Canada Day festivities in the Western Canadian Baseball League, where more than 30,000 fans took in action over the long weekend, a couple of shout-outs to some great performances from the weekend. Dogs Academy's 18U Black Squad won the Weber Academy Canada Day Classic, while the 15U Black Squad won the Dogs Canada Day Classic. And how about that crowd at Remax Field as the Edmonton Riverhawks sold the place out for their Canada Day game against Port Angeles. In front of 9,071 fans, the Hawks routed the Lefties 16-3 and now lead the West Coast League's North Division with an 18-9 record. Now on to this week's guests, and there are a ton of them because both myself and Ian Ian Wilson found ourselves on the road for Canada Day. Ian was in Medicine Hat, and we'll have a couple of conversations coming up. But first, I was in Lethbridge to celebrate the country's birthday, as well as the team's 25th anniversary being in the WCBL. The LA Bulls made their debut in the then Saskatchewan Major Baseball League back in 1999, setting the stage for a league rebrand a few years later as more Alberta teams came on board. While the party on the field was spoiled by the Sylvan Lake Gulls, who won both games in the doubleheader by scores of 5-4 and 3-2, it was still an opportunity to share some memories of the last quarter century. After the game, I caught up with one of the original Bulls, Lethbridge native and current coach Myles Fletcher.
Myles, first off, 25 years ago, hard to believe that that number is attached to that particular team.
Yeah, I mean, like I touched on, it's unreal. And I mean, look at what we're seeing today. It's awesome. Yeah. Hopefully we got another 25 more in us, and it just keeps getting bigger and better.
Take us back to 1999. You're a fresh-faced kid, ready to take the world by storm as a hometown guy. What was it like being in the trenches, starting up this brand new team?
Well, it was a grind at first. I mean, a lot of people were asking who the Bulls were. We used to have a minor league team here, and they had quite a big following. All of a sudden, there's this new team. We were the LA Bulls back then. We did have a big crowd on Canada Day, year one, but back then the big crowd was maybe 500 people, not 1,500 like we saw tonight. But, yeah, it was a grind back then, and it was a struggle just to get an identity in the league itself. I mean, you know, we were the newcomers in the league, and we had some teams that had been around for a while, and they didn't really appreciate some new kids coming in and actually winning some ball games.
Could you have imagined at that time what this team would have turned into?
No, not. Wouldn't have fathomed that it would end up like this, or not even continue like this. Like I said, back then, if we got 100 fans at a game, it was a busy game. And, I mean, we did play quality baseball and stuff like that. And you know what? The same values are still around that Todd Hopka instilled in us back then. But I had no idea that this is what it would be.
Talk about that transition. Like, even with having Hubs as your coach, like, that had to have been something that, like, you got a bunch of local guys who are getting to do something cool and start something that is really new to Alberta because it's in the Saskatchewan Ball League.
Well, I mean, so the first thing I played for Hub at PBA and in college, and then to shift to summer ball mode, it was quite a difference for me. And you know, I was the young kid, like you said, the fresh face, and I was only 19, just turned 19, and we're playing with 23-year-olds. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was eye-opening for me, definitely, because here I was just a little kid playing amongst men, and it was something.
Thinking back on it, hindsight's obviously 20/20, but do you have any favorite memories or moments of that first year particularly?
I mean, we had a really good team, and just getting to the final in that inaugural year, you know what, I think it laid a lot of foundation for, hey, this is a quality ball club. They believe in a lot of good things, and I think it set the tone for the following 24 years after that.
Is it hard to believe that it's grown not just in terms like PBA and Vauxhall's got the connection here, but like there's a pipeline here that is really kind of developed here in Alberta, and particularly here in Lethbridge?
Well, I mean, I grew up here, so I knew that the community was huge for baseball. So it doesn't really surprise me. I knew there would be a following for if we were able to put out a good product. But, I mean, it's exciting. You know, you play a game like tonight, and it's unreal. It's electric in here, and we can feel it as coaches. The players can feel it. It's unreal.
Talk a little bit about the ability to give back to the community. You said it, you're a hometown kid, and getting the opportunity to do what you've done, not just with the Bulls, but with minor ball here, and being able to really kind of entrench yourself as being a part of the ball community after being a player all those years.
Hey, I mean, you know, a lot of people gave up a lot of sacrifice to get me to where I was for my playing career, and the opportunity to give back, like, it's so rewarding to me, and ultimately that's the biggest reward here. Is these guys asked me to come help them coach, and you know what, I'm not going to say no. The opportunity to give back and, you know, give some of these kids the opportunity that I had, that was given to me, and yeah, it's something that I'll do until I can't do it anymore.
Absolutely. A couple more for you before we let you go. There's a lot of kids here, and your boys get a chance to go and sign autographs and that, but they're also imparting wisdom on the next generation. What's that one piece of advice or those words of wisdom you like to impart on the young kids when they're starting out on their baseball journeys?
You know what? Just keep playing. There will be a team, and there will be somewhere for you to play, regardless of how long you continue to play. Do not give up, and just keep grinding. The baseball is a grind. I get that, and you know what? Just stick with it.
Absolutely. And the final one, it's the one we ask everybody here on the show. What does the game of baseball mean to you?
Oh, baseball is my life. I mean, I have a wife and kids, and they sort of understand that as well. To me, the game of baseball gave me everything that I have right now. Family, friends, the community, everything. It gave me everything, and all I can do is give everything I have back to the game.
Well, you've done a great job of that, Coach. Really appreciate the time. Congrats on all the success. Congrats on 25 years and beyond. Looking forward to the next 25. Thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for talking to me.
Next up is a young man who we first met back on episode 138 of the show. Vauxhall Academy grad and Lethbridge Bulls utility man Carlin Dick just put the wraps on his collegiate career at Canisius and is getting ready to make the jump to coaching with Prairie Baseball Academy. We caught up after the game where he hit a home run in the bottom of the ninth to get his Bulls to within one.
Carlin, first off, welcome back. Fell short, 2 close ones. How's the team feeling, though, aside from tonight's games? I mean, you're putting together a pretty solid season so far.
Yeah, I think our team's feeling good. I know those 2 losses definitely hurt, but those are something we have to put behind us and keep strolling. Sylvan's a good team, but I think our team is better, per se. If we go best on best, I think our team is better, and we've just been on the wrong side of a couple of tight losses this year with them, so we're looking forward to the next time we get Sylvan on the schedule and kind of turning things around here this week starting Wednesday.
Do you guys look at a game like this and go, potential first-round playoff? Because I look at it and go at the standings and go, here we go again, right? Do you guys look at it that way, or is it still too early to start navel-gazing about playoffs?
No, I definitely think we do look at it that way. Past years, we played them almost every year I've been here for 3 years, going on 4. So I think it's something we look forward to, and a couple times we've been on the wrong side of it. So this year, we're just going out there to be the best. I think this is the best team we've had so far in my time here, and I think this is the team that can do it. So if we're going to be the best, we got to beat the best, and I think that's what we look forward to in the playoffs.
You guys have been doing that against Okotoks. What is it about those 3 teams and the rivalries? Because I was talking to a couple of people earlier, and you guys have Okotoks' number. Mm-hmm. Sylvan seems to have your number, and Okotoks seems to have Sylvan's number. Like, it just seems to be that kind of year, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's just a matter for us, per se, is just that belief. We have that belief that we can go out there and beat those guys. Like years past, our teams might not have been as strong, but this year we're a strong crew, like 1 through 30, and I think that we can beat anyone in this league, and I think that's the mindset we've had against Okotoks, and we just need to carry that when we play Sylvan.
You and I were talking earlier about the fact that you're a senior now. Walk us through the mindset that you have going into this year. Did you have goals, expectations of yourself kind of thing heading in?
Yeah, I definitely did. For my college season, I had expectations for myself, and I felt like I fulfilled those, and now my expectations are this summer to play free and try and win a championship. There's nothing, I don't have a college team to play for. I'm just out here playing for the Lethbridge Bulls, and I want to do what I can to help us win a championship, and that's the end goal for me. There's nothing more that I would like than to win a championship here in Lethbridge.
How cool has it been to be able to do it with a bunch of people that you've known for a while, right? Like whether you're talking about Josh or talking about some of these guys who Vauxhall guys, like there's a lot of guys who've been familiar since junior high days kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Like a lot of these guys on my team are my best friends, from Shea McTavish, Josh Kabiyama, Riley Pierce, and Caleb Haney are some guys that I've become really close to, and I think it's something throughout the school year that we look forward to, is getting back together every summer, and it's kind of become a tradition, so we want to kind of go out in a bang on the last ride that we can play together.
Talk about your season to this point. How happy are you with the performance to this point? What do you want to keep doing to make sure that you end things on the right foot?
Yeah, I think I've had a pretty good performance up to this point. I've been having fun playing free. Maybe not had some bounces go my way, but that's something you can't control. And I think just for the rest of the season, just keep playing free, swinging the bat hard, and letting things fall where they may.
You swung the bat hard enough in the ninth inning to make it a 3-2 ball game. Did you know, first off, that thing was going over the fence?
Off the bat, I kind of had an idea, and then the right fielder kind of confirmed that idea when he kind of gave up running on the ball. So, decent idea.
I was saying earlier, it looked like you had it all, but it was also kind of a half flail at it. It was an interesting one, but it went nonetheless. Talk about the ability to do that on Canada Day. I mean, obviously it's a special day. It's celebrated, but you also get to do it here at home.
Yeah, it's definitely special. This is 4th Canada Day, and hitting a home run in front of the hometown crowd is always awesome, especially on Canada Day. Lots of familiar faces in the crowd, people cheering, so it's definitely a surreal feeling.
Obviously, a lot of kids hovering around. You get to talk to them. I saw you out signing autographs earlier. What's it mean to you to be able to be that guy who people look up to, the young kids look up to, and give them that idea of, hey, if you can see it, you can be it kind of thing?
Yeah, for sure. I know I've talked with Caleb Haney about it a lot. It's like we were once in those shoes. Like we were those kids running around, whether it be a professional game or here at Spitz Stadium. Like we were once those kids asking for autographs. So this game gave me a lot and a lot of memories and people that look up to me, so I love giving back. Like, I'll sign autographs all day long. Anything I can do to give back is awesome.
Absolutely. Final question for you, and I'll let you get back to it. I know you have friends and family waiting. What's a game of baseball mean to you? I know I asked that question of you a couple of years ago last time we chatted, but I assume things have kind of changed as you get a little older.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely changed. I was just reminiscing today. I can't remember who I was talking to. I think one guy on first base, and I was just like, baseball has given me a lot, and I'm transitioning into coaching next year here in Lethbridge at PBA, and I think I just want to do what I can to give back to the game. It's given me lifelong friends, some great memories, like a home here in Lethbridge, and I couldn't be more thankful for it. So it's been a huge part of my life, and I can't wait to make it another longer part of my life as life goes on.
We've been thankful enough to have a couple of chats with you now, Carlin. All the best. Thanks so much. Congrats on all the success to this point. Continued success here in Lethbridge and beyond. And again, thanks so much for joining us here on the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Monday night's game was a special one for Hunter Jones. The Sylvan Lake Gulls hurler put on a show of his own, allowing just 1 run on 4 hits while striking out 8 in 7 innings of work to pick up the victory. Being an Edmonton native, getting the start on Canada Day was icing on the cake for the college junior, who is now 2-0 with a 3.96 earned run average in 7 appearances for the Gulls.
Hunter, first off, talk about the performance tonight. Nice way to cap off a Canada Day. How'd it feel out there?
It felt great. The bullpen before the game, it felt amazing. I thought everything was working. Fastball, changeup, curveball, slider. They were all moving how I wanted to, and everything just came together and felt great.
Talk a little bit about what was working for you. Was it a matter of the getting the zone and honing in on that? Was it the off speed that was really moving for you early? What was it that allowed you to cruise, especially through the first 4 innings? There was barely a blemish on that.
Yeah, for me, what's really important is first pitch strike. So after that, then I can start mixing in the changeups, curveballs, whatever I want. But the changeup is my favorite pitch, and it was working today. So if I got first pitch strike, changeup was probably coming next.
How cool is it to be able to get a start on Canada Day as a Canadian, being able to have that kind of behind you and do something for your country kind of thing?
It's awesome. It's a surreal feeling. Wish we got to do it at home, but maybe one year. But being Canadian, playing in this league with a lot of Americans, it's cool to be able to do one for the country.
How's the ankle or the leg area?
The calf, it's feeling like a crazy Charlie horse right now. Hopefully it goes away quickly, but I probably won't be walking much tonight and tomorrow.
Luckily, you've got a few days off to kind of rest, relax, and get yourself into the rotation again. Talk about the season to this point. How happy are you with your performance to this point?
Before today, I was a little iffy with how I was performing, just due to not playing this last spring, building my arm back up. But that outing is what I want to be at every outing. So seeing that happen against a good team like Lethbridge, I think in the near future I'll be able to keep doing that. And then for the team, we're swinging it. The defense is unreal. You saw it tonight, but I'm just hoping I can do that every game.
You mentioned the defense side. One of the things I've noticed, you're a veteran of this team now. You've been around. What's different about this team than the last couple of years that you've noticed? Or is there anything, and it's just a matter of refining a few things?
This year it's a lot of new guys, a lot of younger guys, and I think this year we're just having more fun playing baseball. And that's what's important. If you don't have fun, you're not going to enjoy it. And we're having lots of fun. Even if pitchers who aren't playing, guys on the bench, they're all laughing in the dugout. But when it comes down to crunch time, the guys can lock in and still have fun with it though. So as long as we're having fun, I think we'll succeed.
Take us into your clubhouse right now. How's it feeling? Because I get the sense your offense is rolling, pitching's doing really well, the defense is on point. There's got to be a really good feeling in that clubhouse right now.
We just show up every day we're all smiling. There's nobody who's down when they show up to the field. Guys who maybe don't play as much, they're still smiling. The clubhouse, it's just fun. It's just all the guys by themselves. Music's blasting. We're all eating good food. Coaches will come have fun with us too. It's just a fun environment.
When you think about that pitching staff, you've had Tyler Boudreau in there, you've had Josh Tucker in there, you've had some studs in there. Is there any pressure in your eyes to live up to that and keep that tradition going already, or is it a matter just play my game and we'll let the cards fall where they may?
A little bit of both. So with how dominant like Boudreau and Tucker have always been, I want to be like the Boudreau of this year. But I don't think that when I'm pitching. I think just play my game, do what I do, and then like if there's any like awards or something, I'm not thinking about that. I'm just trying to play my game, and hopefully that'll come later.
I know he was back in Sylvan. He got to throw out a first pitch and got the kind of the all-star treatment. What's it like getting to chat with him now and see what he's going through with the draft league and seeing all the different attention that he's been getting?
I'm just happy for the guy. You know, he's living every baseball player's dream. When he came back, it was fun. There's a lot of new guys who were like, "Who is that?" I'm like, "That's Mr. Sylvan right there. That guy, he's the most dominant pitcher I've ever seen in my life. He's amazing." But yeah, he picked me up for baseball every single day to go play for Sylvan, so we got pretty close, and I talk with his parents all the time, and I'm just really happy for the kid.
What is it that set him apart? Like, what was it from a pitching perspective that you look at and go, man, that's why he was Tyler Boudreau, Mr. Sylvan?
He was, at least for me, I think he was intimidating when he was on the mound. Like, he wanted to get things done and done quickly, and he had that feel where, like, if he struck you out, like, he's staring you down, he's staring at your dugout, like, he's intimidating your team, like, he's putting fear into them, so when they come up to hit, they're like, what's going to happen? And, like, he works hard. Like, sometimes it doesn't look like he's working hard, but, like, that kid's worked so hard, like, through Vauxhall, through the JUCO he was at Midland, and now he's going to Texas Tech and the draft league and everything. Like, kid's a grinder, and it shows.
A couple more for you before we let you go. There's a lot of kids around. They've been watching you doing the interview. Obviously, you get to do that at Sylvan as well. You get to talk to those young kids. You get to be the guy who signs autographs, one, but two, they're probably looking for pieces of advice, words of wisdom, to get to the point where you're at now. What are you telling those kids when they come up and ask for an autograph and maybe a piece of advice or two?
Well, firstly, I ask if they had a good time at the game. That's the most important thing. Like, when you come to watch baseball, you don't want to just sit there and think it's boring. You want to have a good time. And in Sylvan, we have the kid zone, so I ask most of them if they were in there for half the time. They're probably not watching the game, playing kickball. But if anybody ever asks me something, I answer it truthfully, give them my best advice that I can give them. And they're all young, so they still have time to, like, figure out what they want to do, if they want to play baseball, what position they want to play. But if it's ever like a pitching question, then I'm a little more, like, intelligent on it. But yeah, I just try to be truthful, try and make them smile. That's important. You know, I want to be a role model for the kids out here, so that's about it.
How cool is that to be able to think of, like, these kids are looking up to you and they're dreaming of one day being the next Hunter Jones?
It's awesome. I remember being their age when the, like, Edmonton Cracker Cats was the team, and, like, Pote's dad would come over to me and, like, he'd give me autographs, and I was like, I want to be like that one day. So now that it's reversed, I'm hoping to be like how the players who I was getting autographs from, I want to be like them for the younger generation now.
Final question. It's one we ask everybody here on the show. What does the game of baseball mean to you?
It's my life. I mean, I've devoted everything to it. That's why I'm playing baseball in the States. I'm the first to move out of Canada from the family to go pursue a sport. And, you know, I got full support from the family and brother, sister, everybody. But it's what makes me happy. I love the game, and I'm going to play it till the game tells me I can't.
We've really enjoyed getting a chance. A small glimpse. We'll catch up with you in the offseason and get your full baseball journey story. But, Hunter, congrats on the start tonight. Congrats on all the success at this point. Continued success going forward, Sylvan and beyond. And, again, thank you so much for joining us here on the show.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
We now head east along Highway 3, where our Ian Wilson was able to take in the Canada Day festivities between the Medicine Hat Mavericks and Weyburn Beavers. The Mavericks ended up winning the game 16-10 in front of over 1,000 fans who braved some cooler-than-hoped conditions. A couple of Canadians have been center stage for the Mavs this year, including Ontario's Nick Thibodeau. He's hitting .365 with 7 homers and 35 RBI in 25 games this season.
All right, Nick, welcome to Alberta Dugout Stories, the podcast. Why don't we go way back? Let's get your baseball origin story. How did you get started in baseball as a kid?
Growing up, my brother grew up playing baseball, and my dad also, when he was younger, he played baseball throughout elementary school and high school. And I originally grew up playing hockey and lacrosse, and then as I got older, I kind of stopped wanting to play lacrosse and wanted to pick up baseball. And So I started around when I was about 7, 8 years old, and from there it just played throughout elementary school, high school, and then now in college.
What attracted you to the sport of baseball more than the other sports you mentioned there?
More just being in the summertime, playing hockey. Like, it was only a wintertime situation, so being able to play a sport throughout the summer as well as in the winter, it kind of just worked well with what I wanted to do. And then as I kept playing baseball, it grew on me, and I figured out that's what I wanted to pursue in college, and that's what I chose.
It seems like you chose wisely. Tell me just about how you ended up with the Mavericks this summer. What was the recruiting connection there?
I was at school this past fall, and my hitting coach asked me if I wanted to go play summer ball somewhere, and I said sure. And so he kind of just reached out to a bunch of different places, and I know the Mavericks reached out for pitchers on my team, but my coach mentioned me, and my coach asked if I wanted to come down, and I just said sure. I love being in Canada. I did also play summer ball in the U.S., and I just kind of wanted to be back home in the country, and that was mainly it.
Yeah. Had you been out to Western Canada much before, or at all before?
No, the only other place in Canada that I've ever been to was Quebec, and then Vancouver, just flying in the airport, and that's it.
So give us a rundown on the Medicine Hat experience so far. I know the number, like in terms of your play so far, the numbers look great. Looks like you're having a great season. But what about being in the community here?
I think the community is really great. Coming from back home, like, I was born and raised in a city of about 200,000 people. So, like, coming out here and being in a city kind of, as I would like to say, in the middle of nowhere, it's different for me. Like, I know with school, my first school at JUCO and my school now is kind of the same thing, being in the middle of nowhere. But I think the town is great, amazing. The people here are great, and fans that come out and support us, as well as the coaches and my teammates and all that. It's just a great experience.
And how about on the field and with the team in particular? What about the time at Athletic Park for you?
On the field, like, being here for the first home game, like, being able to catch on the day one home opener, I thought it was pretty crazy for me, because I've never really played in front of more than maybe 200 people at most. So having, on average, over 1,000 fans a game was just some new experience, and I come to enjoy it and like it. And I think that the crowd really supports us throughout what we do and how we play, and I think it's just amazing being able to come out here almost every day and play.
Was that intimidating for you at all, or was it pretty easy to get hyped up from it?
No, I don't really pay attention to anything like that. I kind of just let it be and don't really allow that to put any pressure on myself, because I know that if I do let it put pressure on myself, it's going to affect my playing and all that. So I do enjoy playing in front of a lot of people. It's fun and all, but I just try to think that nobody's there, and I just do what I do.
Yeah. Any goals coming into this season for you, or for the rest of the season?
Not really. I kind of don't like to set a lot of goals for myself. Mainly, it's more just go out there, try my best every single day, and then whatever happens, happens.
Give us a scouting report on you. Obviously, we know you're a catcher. What else can you say about your game?
I'm a catcher. I would say I'm a pretty good hitter. I don't like to be too cocky about myself or anything like that, but I think I hit pretty good. I think I catch pretty good, so there really isn't much to say.
Yeah, and then just the WCBL experience. You've gotten to go around to some of the other stadiums. I think you guys are just back from Siemens Stadium, which a lot of players take note of. You're talking about crowds there. What about some of the other ballparks you've been to, and what have you seen around the league?
It just depends on the area. Like, some teams, like, they can only fill out so many people in the stadium. They only got so much crowd space, but some other stadiums like Saskatoon and where we just came from, Okotoks, like, their fields are a lot bigger, and their crowds really get into it as well. And I think we do a great job here with our fans. They really get into it, and I think it's just amazing, just playing everywhere.
All right, let's do some quick fun ones for you. What's favorite player growing up?
I never really had one.
No,
I never.
Or player that you emulated at all? None of that?
No, I never really did any of that. I never really looked up to like any professional baseball player or whatever.
Well, that's a first for me, but I like the answer. Anyway, what about favorite team? Do you have a team that you?
I Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Being from Ontario, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Can they be fixed this year? Or?
God, who knows? That's something that. Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah.
They used to be good back in the mid 2010s when they went to ALCS and had a lot of good players. But once those few years kind of rolled over, it's kind of, I would say we're in a rebuilding stage, to say the least.
Favorite ballpark food?
Always got to go for a hot dog.
Yeah.
Can't beat that.
Okay, now what's on the hot dog?
Just ketchup.
Okay.
Just ketchup.
See, I'm just a mustard guy.
No. Just plain ketchup. Can't beat it.
Awesome. And favorite, place that you've played so far?
The Rogers Center. Back in high school.
Yeah.
That's
the Futures? Or
yeah, it was T12.
Yeah.
I got picked, and so I went to go play there for a week, and that was probably one of the coolest places to play at.
Yeah.
In my opinion, yeah.
Any advice for younger players out there that are trying to get to where you've been to, whether they're fans in Medicine Hat or just little leaguers now?
Just always put in the work. Just don't allow the small things to affect you. Just try to go out there, do your best every single day, even though you may not feel the greatest. Just go out there, do what you can do, and just let the chips fall, and that's just all you can do.
Walk-up song right now.
Voices by Motionless and White.
Okay, I don't know that at all.
Yeah,
but I'll keep an ear out for it.
Yeah, it's
What was? Tell me about the process to get to that song. If there was one.
Well, I like a different sort of music compared. Like I love country music. Like going to JUCO in Texas, like it was straight country music, so I love listening to that on a daily basis. But usually before games, it's a lot of heavy metal, screamo, emo, just a lot of stuff like that, just to basically lock me in.
So whatever mood you're in,
yeah,
it's all over the map. All right,
basically.
last question for you. What does the game of baseball mean to you?
It means everything. Coming out here, playing a game that I love, and playing a game that I grew up playing, it's just a dream come true. Just being able to come out here, play, do what I can do, and just do the best I can for our team to win. It's just, there's nothing more that I could ever ask for.
Great answer. All right, well, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Best of luck the rest of the season.
And finally, Saskatchewan's Tyler Vanneste was the Canada Day star, going 3 for 6 with a home run and 3 RBI. He's hitting .434 on the campaign with 2 homers and 14 RBI in 21 games. The veteran also had a chance to take his teammates to his hometown of Warman for a family visit while the squad was on a trip through the land of living skies.
Tyler, just talk to me a little bit about, first off, how the season's going so far. The numbers look good, but give us a behind-the-scenes look of what you're seeing at the plate and in the field.
Obviously, I think it's been, like you said, numbers have been pretty good so far, but I think it's just about, coming out here, having fun, and just that's kind of what I try to do each summer, like just building off the last one and just getting back into it and keeping in shape and just having fun out here with the boys, and I think that's kind of what helps. It makes the game really easy.
You're a returning player. You had a great year last year. What brought you back for another summer out here?
Just the city and the organization. Greg, I mean, he treats us first class over here. It's fun. We got a good coaching staff, Kev and all the boys. So yeah, they just make it fun out here, and they make it a place you want to come back to every year. So it was a no-brainer for me.
For you, yeah, awesome. And then just some goals for this season. I mean, obviously team-wise, you guys came that close.
Yeah.
You pushed Okotoks to the brink. How about this season?
I think it's the same goal every year. You want to get to that final series and obviously come out on top. And we fell just short last year, and so there's kind of a little bit left there, and that's what we want to do here for sure.
How about individual goals? Do you set any of those? Or
Not really. I think for me in the summer, it's just, like I said before, about coming out here, having fun, meeting some new guys, and just keeping in shape, really.
Yeah. In terms of just what you've seen around the league so far, got a couple new teams in the league, got Edmonton back in the league. Saskatoon, I think you guys have been out to Saskatoon. I know they've been here. Just tell me what you're seeing from the caliber of play in the league.
Yeah, I think every year it seems to get better and more competitive out here for sure. And I think adding more teams is obviously good. It reaches new faces, and you can impact some more people and more fans. So, and it's good to travel around and see different places. So that's always a fun time.
We've seen you were in the league last year again, so we've seen some lopsided scores this year. I'm curious. I have some ideas, but you're playing in it. What's causing all the run totals to be increasing?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think obviously each game's different. It comes down. I think a big thing's pitching. Like guys get hot and they just keep swinging it. And obviously early on, I think lots of the big games. Winds were gusting, and so if you got the ball in the air, those things would go. So I think that was a big part of it, and guys just teams getting hot and just keep going.
There's a new the official baseball of the league change this year. Have you noticed anything with that specifically?
I can't say I have, just because I don't really remember what the balls were like last year. So, but I mean they seem to be playing good, and obviously the hitters must be liking them because numbers seem to be going up.
And you're a Sasky guy.
Yeah.
I understand you had a few visitors to the house recently. Tell me about that stop and how that basically how that all came to be, having the Mavericks at your childhood home.
Yeah. It was fun. My family, even before the season started a while ago, we kind of talked about it. Like when we're gonna go back home. That was my first time playing there since high school, so it was fun to be back there. And my family wanted to just cook up some pulled pork for all the boys and have everyone over. So it was a good time. We had some fun out there, and obviously they all got to see a little warm in Saskatchewan. But so it was a good time.
Awesome. And did they have anything left in the fridge by the time you guys left?
Yeah, there was lots of leftovers. They cooked up a lot of pork, a lot.
Awesome. So a few fun ones for you. Favorite baseball player growing up?
I'd probably go with Mike Trout. I think just the way he hustled and just competed every day it was fun to watch him play.
Yeah. Favorite team?
Blue Jays. Yeah, got to stay loyal to the Canadian team. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Good choice today, especially. Favorite ballpark food?
Ooh, I think you can't go wrong with a little hot dog.
Yeah.
A little hot dog, ketchup on there.
Yeah, geez, you and Nick are picking the same thing there. Yeah, see, I'm a mustard on the hot dog.
Mustard?
Yeah.
I can't do mustard.
Fair enough. Any advice for younger players that maybe hope to suit up for the Mavericks one day or get to the college level or beyond?
I think just every day you just gotta work hard and just give it your all. And I think the most important thing is just coming out and just enjoying yourself on the field every day and trying to make the most of what you got out here. And I think that's one thing lots of coaches and different players will preach is just come out here and play each time like it's your last, because you really never know when it will be. So, yeah.
Last question for you. We asked this of all our podcast guests. What does the game of baseball mean to you?
Baseball's given me a lot. Obviously, takes me from Saskatchewan to the States, and I've got to be in a lot of cool places and meet a lot of new people. So, I got baseball to thank for that. So, it's been pretty cool journey the past 4 years.
Awesome. Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Best of success the rest of the season.
Thanks again to Myles Fletcher, Carlin Dick, Hunter Jones, Nick Thibodeau, and Tyler Vanneste for joining us this week. And thanks to all of you for downloading and listening. Ian's actually on a trip through Saskatchewan right now and has a few more interviews lined up. I'll also be chatting with a few other players around the league as we get closer and closer to the WCBL All-Star Game, which is set for July 20th in Okotoks. So stay tuned for all the news and notes heading into that game, as well as all the provincial and national championships and events coming up in the weeks ahead. It is going to be a busy one, so now's probably a good time to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a moment of the action. As always, a tip of the cap to our platinum supporters, the Okotoks Dogs and Under the Lights Sports and Entertainment, for their generosity and support. They help us cover costs like travel and web hosting fees. We have some big plans over the next few months, so if you'd like to become a sponsor, Email us at albertadugoutstories@gmail.com to learn more about the options we have available for you. Until next time, thank you for all of your support online, on social, and on air of Alberta Dugout Stories.